Welcome back to AM Northwest. From emergencies to natural disasters, the TV series Hearts of Heroes follows the brave men and women who rush towards danger to help others. The show not only profiles their heroic rescue efforts, it also showcases the training first responders receive.
Now we're going to take that clutter, set it on fire, get into that room, see what it's like to be in 750-degree heat, and see just how fast that cluttered room fire spreads.
That's good. That's good. I can't believe how fast this spreads.
Homes today are built with a lot of synthetic materials, and those synthetics are all plastics. Plastic is oil-based, and we know that oil burns very hot. They burn that much hotter, and the fire spreads that much more quickly and more aggressively.
Unbelievable. Fire doubles in size every 30 seconds.
Wow, we welcome the hosts of Hearts of Heroes, Ginger Z and Sheldon Yellen. Good morning, you two.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Sheldon, I know that more and more first responders have to deal with situations like the hoarding situation that we just kind of saw. That was an example of it. So what challenges are you facing this season?
In season 7, the one thing that I'm really happy about is that I'm getting more immersed into the actual scenes and what really goes on in the first responder world. In the clip you just saw, think about a house fire, 750-degree heat, clutter, smoke, somebody's inside needing to be saved, and you got to be the one going in to get him or her. It's a very difficult situation. Fear is in your mind. You have to overcome that fear as a first responder, and you have to go and do what you signed up for and what you committed for. You get into that house, you find somebody, you're halfway there. Now you got to get out. It takes incredible discipline, it takes incredible teamwork, and incredible amounts of training to put you in the position to make a successful rescue. It's really something to be a part of. And this show gets to highlight these heroic first responders. It's really something to see.
Ginger, as you've been hosting this show, what have you learned about first responders?
Yeah, the amount of training that they go through is something that none of us have an appreciation for. I think many of us just kind of blindly know, okay, I have to be grateful for a first responder because we know they're brave or courageous, but we don't know why. This is going to just go from point to point, and Sheldon will often jump in and show you why, how, what it's going to take for these first responders to get to that level of skill, accuracy, and all of the things that they do. And I was just listening to you talk about that story when we were telling that story about the hoarding situation and a fire. What I came away with is a learning. So I learned that you don't have to have a hoarding situation. Anything in a hallway can be an obstacle for you, your family, and for the first responder. And so even at work recently, we moved into a new building, there were still some boxes, and I was the person that said, hey guys, we have to get that out of here. And that wouldn't have been something that I said prior to hearing and seeing the story and seeing how hard it can make the job of a first responder. So hopefully that's something that you'll come away inspired by as well with the show.
Oh, wow. And I'm going to guess, Sheldon, that you've learned a ton during this time, too.
Yeah, we've surely learned it. We've seen situations, and I'll give you just one more anecdotal, that if you're in need of a rescue, you got to stay calm. You've got to listen to the instruction. You got to let them do their jobs. Don't fight. Just listen, trust, and believe. And I think Ginger just mentioned, you know, we can be a little more prepared so we're not as dependent on others as maybe sometimes we are.
Yeah.
If we just take time, keep the hallways clear, keep the home clear, make sure the kids are knowing how to safely swim, how to go into a boat. You don't go in without a life jacket.
Right.
Just recently, we just saw a shark rescue, a family in the water for a long period of time. How could we prevent these things from happening? We too have a responsibility.
Ginger, you've talked in the past, and you seem to be sent to every disaster known to man on GMA. But what is it that we need to keep in mind when it comes to what we face when it comes to natural disasters, and especially here in the Northwest? What do you see as things that we'll face that we need to be prepared for?
And I think generally you're in, Oregon and you're saying, yeah, of course we have wildfire. Of course we get flood events. You had a tsunami event recently. My sister in Hawaii obviously was more impacted by that. Generally the types of natural disaster that can be in your backyard. I think most importantly is saying it will happen. Don't say, it's not going to be me, but let's jump all the way to it will happen. So what are we doing when it does? And then watch the sneaky ones. And for you all, that's heat. We just had it this week.
Yes.
We've got days of heat that accumulate. And our climate is changing. That is just inevitably true because generations ago, you didn't see long periods of heat like this. And that's why you had the big death heat event all the way up into Canada a couple summers ago. And this time, every time it happens, it's not just outdoor workers. We've been doing stories on heat deaths. This is the part that you can do, and that is realizing, okay, I'm getting older. Even myself in my 40s, my body's reacting different to heat today than it did last decade.
Yeah.
So knowing that about yourself and preparing for the future, that way you're taking the onus off of the first responder as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to tell everyone a new episode of Hearts of Heroes airs this Saturday at 3 p.m. right here on KATU. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.